put it together nicer. Okay, you guys can move on, and I'll just stay back here for a minute.
Okay, so under relevant risks and dangers, I was like, let's see, their whole entire life.
Bombs
Where
dropping.
do I start?
Let's see, the bombs flying in the air.
I'm like, there's a lot. I'll just copy and paste what I have, and we can. Those are ones that I put.
I think risk and dangers to the members, personally, once again, it's the son that was named after the dead son. I kind of put him in there because there's a risk of him feeling like somebody else versus himself. Kind of what we discussed a little earlier.
Okay.
And he doesn't have an identity because his identity is his brother's identity. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Terry, you can go ahead and just type that in right underneath the list. I don't think she matters so much if we have some lists instead of paragraphs.
Yeah, I don't either. She just
fine.
I'll just copy and paste what I've got, and you guys can play with it.
Does anybody else have any other risks or dangers that are not already listed there?
let me see.
I do, but I'm trying to figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to copy and paste and let you guys look while I'm fixing the thing before. Is that okay?
Okay. I think for the risks and dangers, they have, they're living in constant fear, right? Because they have no idea when the air raids are going to happen. They have no idea when the alarms are going to go off, where they have to run into their, what is it? Where do they hide in the stairwells of their apartment building? They don't know when that's going to happen. So they have that constant state of unease and fear. And that causes anger, despair, worry, and confusion. And all of these things can lead to like depression, anxiety, and the trauma from all of this can lead them to having PTSD. So I think we need to put that in there too.
That's true.
So that's a lot of the list that I wrote. I put isolation, disconnectedness, distress, anger, depression, resentment. Looks like resentment. I just added it at the bottom just a second ago.
You know,
I see it. Okay.
I think all of these things, like living in war and all of the things that Emma was just talking about, we don't live in that kind of a culture. And so I wonder if when people start to show symptoms like that, they like downplay it. Like everyone goes through this. Everyone is like that. This is not a disorder. This is not something that's abnormal. Like you are normal. This is how we live.
Life. This is just life.
Like it's not diagnosed that way. It's just part of who you are if you live in a war zone.
On it.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I also put down revengeful. That there's probably a risk of being revengeful because if you remember in the in the thing, it said that one of the sons came to the dad, I want a gun because I want to kill these Israelis, and I think there's a risk of revengeful, that a revenge or having that revengeful vengeance.
Yeah, I put that up above under my anxiety because for when you have anxiety, you freeze, fight, or flight, and I put that as one of his son's thing is but that's not just that couldn't be just anxiety. That could just that could be anger, like you said, or revengefulness.
Well, I added revengeful in the list at the bottom.
Perfect.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, I also put down that, the father, with everything that's going on with the loss of a son, the one of them injured, and just the other one feeling revengeful. I just put down that he has a risk of drowning himself in self-pity of why is my family just acting like this? Why are things going the way they are? Just kind of having a pity party for all the things that are going on. And not to mention they do have a daughter in the psych ward. So there's so much going on that there's a risk of him falling into self-pity and getting what we said before, feeling depressed, falling into depression.
But I think that's a case for the majority of the people who live in that situation. Like his brother had already, it said his brother had lost a family member also. Like it's not uncommon.
Right. Well, and that was kind of one of the things that I'd written down, and it didn't, sorry, it was handwritten notes, so I'm not copying and pasting over, but we look at all of this stuff from our perspective, being raised where we are and not having dealt with this as a lifelong experience. And so it was interesting to me kind of going through the case to think about, so much of this is commonplace. We wouldn't know what to do with ourselves if we had air raids going on, all of a sudden in our lives. It would have massive trauma on us. But and not to say that, not to belittle the trauma that they're going through, but since it is something that, like, especially as young kids, they're raised with, and this is something that they've faced since birth, they almost don't know any different. I wonder if they have the same, PTSD and all of those different elements that we would all face immediately, but since it's so commonplace for them, is that as much of a concern? Not that we should ignore it, but I just think it's interesting, their perspective on it may be entirely different than what we would consider.
Yeah,
well, and they may not even recognize it as such because it is such a commonplace. They may not know that they have this problem because they don't know anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but a lot of things are, with your cognitions, you can make yourself believe something, or you can create certain dysfunctions in yourself by the way you think. And these children are probably raised in a very resilient culture just because of where they are. They're, live in poverty. They're constantly under attack, and this is normal to them. And so they're very resilient.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. They'd have to be.
Well, I think you have to understand too that this isn't something that's just happened in their lifetime. This is generations of war that's been happening. So this is ingrained in them almost to be resilient to it. And so maybe you're right. Maybe they don't have to worry about PTSD in the same way that we as Americans would, but then we don't know. So I don't know.
I'm not saying to take that out by any means. I'm just saying it's an interesting, it was kind of a thought process that I went through as I was reading it. That's all. So
no, it's fine.
But there was part in the reading this week, there was part of it that said that those who were in higher risk, and it was in the second test that they did, the higher risk and the lower risk, they still had the same amount of marital issues.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It didn't
whether
change
they lived
it
close or not.
Right. But I think that Molly's right. I think it's because those that were closer, that's just what they know. And so they adjust accordingly.
Yeah, but we can apply that to us here in the States. Like, I have children who have a lot of, my children are intense. I have very intense children who require a lot of help. I have a 17-year-old who people are like, I can't get it. Well, he's almost 17. He can't open up. I can't get him to shut up. Seriously. I'm like, stop talking. Okay, but they're really high intensity. He has some disorders and a hearing loss. And I have a sister who has 4 kids, and they're like, I can be at home with all of her kids, and I'm like, where are your kids? And they're all
Isn't that weird?
And mellow. And I'm all like, to her, if she were to come in my house, she would be like, every night, I need a bath and some ice cream. She can't handle it because it would be stress for her. Chaotic. But there's things that she does too that I'm like, I don't want a piece of that. Mm-hmm. Wherever you are, whatever you deal with, you just become familiar with it.
Right. That's true. And that's probably what these people are having to deal with, is that they, like they said, we don't know how long these wars have been going on. These children could have easily been raised in these wars. Mm-hmm. And they, like we said earlier, it's a commonplace for them. Mm-hmm. They don't know anything different.
Yeah, if they were to come here to America, there would be a lot of blessings for them, but I'm sure they would struggle with the thing of, you get up and you shower in the morning and you go to work every day and you deal with traffic, and they'll be like, this is nuts over here. What do you mean?
They might.
Things would be different.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have to remember,
they would adjust a lot better than if I adjusted there, though.
Yeah. We have to remember too that the daughter did need some psychiatric help because she couldn't handle it. Yeah, now, is that because she's a girl, or is it because of the way women are treated in their culture? I mean, I don't know. She did need the help. She did get the help, which is great. But we still have to, I don't know, remember that she didn't adjust to everything else, like the father and his brother that they adjusted to. She struggled with it and she needed help. So I don't think that it can be considered normal or commonplace for everyone.
Yeah. And every child is different. Everybody deals with things differently. I mean, those of us who have, more than one child can see a difference in each child. And each child handles stress and handles anxiety so far differently than the next. And so, the boys may be mellow enough to be able to deal with this, but the daughter just couldn't handle it. And and it seems to me, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that women suffer from anxiety far more than the men do, or at least they show it far more than the men do. And so for her, she probably just showed it enough that she just couldn't deal with it any longer, and they had to get her help. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to move on to the next question?
Yes.
So opportunities.
This one was hard for me. I'm the one that posted stuff to put in there because there's a lot of opportunities, but not much that they can control. They can't stop the war. And so they can't stop shrapnel from entering their home or getting blown up. So I didn't really know what to put.
Those are the things that I put. I just pasted mine.
Okay.
I struggled with this one.
Yeah. I wanted to say,
I don't know. I wish they could help us.
The opportunities, yeah. I could only come up with 2 opportunities for this one because once again, it's it's kind of become a lifestyle. What other opportunities do they have other than pulling together as a family? It's their opportunity to finally, not finally, but to really kind of connect and to be a family and then to go out and just serve their neighbor. The best way to forget your woes is to serve other people.
Yeah, but we're taught the simple, humble life, and your family is where your true happiness is. And we have so many materialistic things around us that they become a focus. So I think that they, might have a lot of opportunities living in a very humble circumstance.
Yeah.
Being very vulnerable.
If you notice that there are strangers helping strangers over there, what was it? When the boy got injured, a stranger came and gave the boy a chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Just some random guy, and so, yeah, it's an opportunity for them to, pay it forward a little bit.
All right. Did someone write on the paper? Okay, let me see. So one of the opportunities they had was that they're receiving aid. And I know that's doesn't really feel like an opportunity, but they are receiving help, outside help.
Yeah, I didn't list that. That's a good one to put down.
And then also he's getting financial assistance from his brother. So he is getting help there. And then I think we need to list.
Opportunity though, or is that something?
I don't think either of those are an opportunity.
Okay.
I think that's recommended support, maybe.
I do too.
Support. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But don't forget those or write them down because I like both of them.
Okay. You can put them down in the support area. Some of these questions just kind of all mesh together because I had the same answers for multiple questions. So it's okay.
I think I was just trying to find something to put for opportunities.
Yeah.
Because I just was feeling very sad about it because I couldn't think of anything because they don't have a lot of opportunities. So.
Yeah.
Well, I said for one of the opportunities is that family probably values just every day knowing that things are so unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
And then the children, I put, have a strong desire to go to school because it might not be an opportunity for them. The school had been closed. And I would love it if there were some mornings that I didn't have a child whine that they had to get up or go to school. I bet those children are eager to go to school because it's a real opportunity for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
how many words is that?
Do we have enough with that, Cherie?
Where does it show the word count on this?
I only knew that because of what I had
Okay, I'll put it somewhere else.
from my Word document.
You always have to put it on Word to determine the.
Yeah.
Like,
I do.
I put in 61 words. So we're probably, I bet we're at 100.
Okay, hold on.
or thereabouts. Yeah.
I'd hate to be marked off for something so dumb. 91.
Oh, we missed it. 8 words.
All right, ladies, 9 words.
Well, can we extend one of those sentences to be a little bit longer?
Of course we can.
Okay, so the 4th sentence, healing through supported growth and refinement. How do they get healing through that? Can we expand on that one a little bit? Because that one doesn't, I don't know.
Supported growth and refinement as they learn.
Oh, better.
Okay.
That's good.
Works.
Okay, let's see. No important relationship considerations.
I think going back to the son that was named after the dead son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
was the one I had too.
I did too. That poor kid.
I couldn't get over that.
I can't imagine being named after my dead brother. It would be our dead sister. You know,
It might be an honor in their culture.
Have an identity.
Yep, it could be.
Okay, so I noticed on this one that the wife was not mentioned, like, at all.
I know. Like, does he have one?
Well, he has a wife,
had,
right?
In my head,
he
he
has a
had
baby.
one.
Well, he just had a baby, right? So he's got to have a wife. But
Someone
or
had
maybe
to birth the child.
Yes.
So that's what
But I
I was
noticed one of
thinking.
the sons had a different last name. Or maybe it was just 2 names without a last name. I don't know.
They have lots of names, lots of like middle names and last names and everything.
School teacher to the children. That's good. I didn't think about that.
Oh, yeah. I thought about the possible lack of a mother. Because I don't remember seeing that mentioned. But I also the other one I thought of was the daughter in the psych ward.
I put the daughter who suffers emotionally with parents. We could probably put and the rest of the family.
I think we need to put okay, the new child. Okay. So what he talked about a lot was how the fathers and sons have very strong relationships.
Well, did he say
it's all about the boys over there? They don't really value women at all. So we need to make sure that we emphasize that it's the father to the son, and then the son to the brother that had died, and then and then to the new baby.
Well, I think someone put the father who listed first. Who is that? Molly, maybe?
Yeah.
The father, an important relationship with all of his children, father and his brother.
We could put with emphasis to his sons or something.
I don't think we should exclude his daughter from that, because I think if anybody needs help,
it's the daughter.
It's the girl. Father and brother.
And one of the things I had listed too was just the community in general, and maybe that's what you mean by, I don't know, people of Gaza and Israel. Yeah, because I think they're all suffering through the same things, and so I don't know. It could go either way. Either you've got constant support from the community because everybody's dealing with the same things, so they know how to help you through it.
I put that later on too. People in the community.
Yeah, or they're all maxed because they're all dealing with the same stresses and can't help. So it's hard to know sometimes how that goes. But I think in these situations they usually tend to be helpful to one another and supportive because they understand the stress.
Okay, I added that. We have 2 childs. Which one do you guys like? The new child named after the deceased child and the rest of the family, or new Ahmed and the parents?
I like the new Ahmed and the parents.
Yeah.
Okay. there. Well, let's see if that's enough. I guess it would be easy to add to these if we need to. That's 114.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, coping strategies.
I think it's going back to what we said before, everything that we pretty much did before.
Copy and paste.
I know. Using the mood logs.
See,
No,
answer number 3.
I know. But yeah, I think, recommend the mood logs. Heaven knows they need to put their thoughts and feelings somewhere and be able to see them in a different light.
Can you copy and paste yours?
Me?
Yeah. It's easier for me to delete than type. I'm basically lazy, is what I'm saying.
I am terrible at typing. So terrible.
I'll just copy and paste it. That's not a problem.
Copy and paste it, and then I will edit. So if you guys want to read, I posted mine. I didn't have typology model. I didn't have mood log.
That's what I wrote in mine. So whatever you want to do with it, sure.
Okay. Okay.
If you want to maneuver something around, I'm cool. That's just kind of my thoughts.
The weekly date for husband and wife. I don't think
made
they
that up
really
too.
live in a culture where that's but maybe
No.
quality time together. I don't think the theater's down the road there.
No.
I mean, not that they don't date. I don't mean to make it sound like that's the only place you should go to date, but
Okay, I like that. The quality time for husband and wife.
Quality time.
Yeah, regular quality. That's good. And then 2 lines down where it says including attending church. I think that's great for like Christian people, but I don't think that they attend church in the similar way that we do.
They do. They attend more church than we do. They're crazy church goers.
Okay.
Yeah, don't they do like mosque and or is it? It's mosque, isn't it?
Maybe mosque instead of church.
Like every day attending.
Which is their church, though. That is their church.
Okay. It just is throwing me off that the wording, it seems so American.
Religious activities.
But that's the whole thing with this.
How about I'll just
in both cultures.
There's religious activities. How about that?
That's better.
Does that make you feel better?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just I can't. I don't want to like force our Americanism onto this. They're Muslim. We don't want to like. I don't know. Say that our American. I don't even know how to say it. We go to church. They go to mosque.
They think that we're lax as active
That's
Mormons.
true.
So.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. I like that you wrote that somebody put in here that stay close to the extended family and community. They must have strong community bonds.
Yeah, they have to
live where they live and to deal with what they deal with. I mean, when someone's home gets destroyed, does everybody go and help clean it up? I'm sure they do.
Well, and they definitely have the extended family, the closeness of the extended family, because obviously he's getting help from his family, like the father's brothers and stuff like that. So
you wonder what their education is there, because I know we talked about mood logs, expressing your feelings, like writing them down.
Yeah.
You think about, I don't know. Just
I'm not sure how that works.
Things.
That was the only thing I could think of. I'm thinking, well, I don't know. It's the only thing that
no, but
I
it's good to talk about. It's good to write things down. It is. You just, you wonder
what they can use, what they use, and I mean, what their culture is like to be able to utilize it or not. Yeah. However, I do think it would be great for the daughter. Because maybe that's what she needs is someone to, some way to express everything that's going on in her poor little mind.
What do you guys think of that? Any other changes you want me to make?
I think it looks good. I think it's hard. I wish I could like have somebody of a different culture, them, you know, like look at and have them be like, you want me to do what? And where exactly should I get that paper and pencil to write down my mood lock? You know, like you wonder how difficult some of these things are that we use as basic coping strategies.
Yeah.
The fact that she went to a therapist and they knew she had like psychological breakdown, it means to me that they must be aware of it to some degree, more than I would have initially thought, at least.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, we ready to go to the next one?
Yeah.
Yes. No?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so, unless you guys want me to change something else.
Okay.
No.
I added attend school whenever possible.
I
I don't know when that's possible, but they should go.
Good.
Yeah.
Go to
So
school.
they can learn how to cope. Right.
Good distraction.
Distractions are always nice.
Right.
Stressed.
Okay, recommendation to supporting involved parties. I found this one hard to write because I was thinking, how do you tell a community that's just been bombed and their children have been killed, like, pull together and clean it up? Like, it just doesn't seem realistic to me.
Yeah, and I think it's those basics that they're probably doing that naturally anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard. This one was hard to come up with additional things other than, you know, be there for each other and help out where they can.
I like those. Who just pasted that? Those are good.
I did.
I never thought of the school teacher.
Yeah. I added the depending upon where the extended family lives, because obviously I think they said that Gaza's kind of on the border of a different community or a different country or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Depending where the family lives, the extended family lives, that family can come and whisk the kids away and make sure that the family stays safe. Does that, not necessarily the kids, but like the whole family if needed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Depending upon where the family lives, the extended family can help with the family if needed. I'll just copy paste that in there, but
Sure. I didn't think of it previously, but the government could do something. Government help to alleviate war. I don't know. What do you want me to put?
That one's tricky because I don't think that's going to happen. That's been like I said before, generations of war. So it's not.
Yes, but I would recommend the war to stop. That would be a recommendation of mine. I don't know. The war should stop, and then you'll be safer. But
I agree with you completely, Shuri. But at the same time, if the war has been going on this long, who's to say that the government's not part of that issue?
They probably are, but I would recommend still to stop it.
Honestly, one of the recommendations I had on mine was move. Just leave.
Get out of there.
Supporting involved parties.
Yeah, but the father, he says that in the story, he said, this is normal here in Gaza. He said it matter-of-factly, this is war. He says, do you expect the enemy to bring you food and drink? Everyone has experienced loss in these wars. So
it's just how it goes there.
It goes back to their reality that this is just what they deal with.
Yeah, it probably was it might have even been odd for him to be interviewed and for his story to be published. Like, what makes me
think that
I don't understand why people want to know about this. Because I don't think that they're investigating us as much as people look at them deeply, because they might not even have the resources to do that.
Sure.
Well, I think too, you have to remember this piece of land. They believe that it belongs to them, and the Israelis believe it belongs to them. And so there's this centuries old conflict over who this land actually belongs to. And that's where this war is coming from. And it's not going to end anytime soon. And it certainly isn't going to end peacefully. And that's why they live in the state that they live in.
Well, that's 73 words, so we're going to need to come up with a little more.
Okay.
Maybe we can add on this.
School teachers, communities. I think for the, I don't know if it would go under support or if it would go under the one that we did before support, but we need to put that they write like their family stories.
You know what? I thought about that. And I thought I wrote that down somewhere, but I don't see it. But I definitely.
You know what? No, it says make note of those feelings. But I like that in support and involved parties, right? What do you want me to put, right?
Maybe call it more life history or
like journaling.
Yeah.
Because if they don't write their history down for their children and their posterity, how are they going to know? You know, they can't trust what anybody else is going to write. They have to write it themselves.
And that might be kind of cathartic to them as they process and recount those stories to kind of go through and gain perspective after the experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking at it in hindsight versus in the moment. They can write down everything they're feeling in the moment, and then, and then when they go back to read it, they can kind of see the hindsight of everything.
I mean, how therapeutic would it be if they had their great-grandfather's journal and how he wrote about how they would fight with the Israelis and
or
things that they did and how they coped with it.
Yeah.
Or depressing that nothing has changed from one generation to the next and they're still fighting the same wars.
True. Yeah. Hopefully that's not the case, but
right. Hopefully not.
You'd like to hope that, but
right.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So for support, we have community. The government is giving support. We need to put that in there. And then also support. Well, this is recommendation. So the government's already giving support, like financial support to the people. And the father was able to take the daughter for psychiatric help. That's support too.
It says she needed it. It didn't say that she received it.
Oh, really?
I was assuming that she did receive it.
I did too. Maybe
it says the only thing it says about the daughter is he says one of his daughters suffered from fits of anger and needed psychiatric care. That's all it says about his daughter.
She received it, huh? I guess
it sounds like she received it to me.
Yeah, it does. But we're assuming there's a mother in here too because we've referenced her in our paper, but nowhere does he talk about a wife.
Well, since we're making the recommendation, we could recommend that they all get.
We recommend that you get married. Let's recommend that.
I mean, I think to some extent, they probably all do need some kind of counseling of some sort.
Oh, sure.
And I think that right there is a huge support because when you're in the thick of stress, you can't think straight anyway. And you kind of need that outside source to say, hey, let's put your head back on and let's figure this out. You know what I mean? So I think professional counseling would be very beneficial for the situation.
I think it would be too. I think in this case where they live, it's not commonplace to go see your psychiatrist. And that's where I think the community coming together and sharing their thoughts and feelings is like that therapy for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they vent and share and cope together. That's their therapy session.
Well, I just put regular therapy. I guess we could just say that means whatever they would like it to mean.
We're almost done.
Regular therapy for family to help them cope with difficulties. Is that?
Just listen.
Sure. Yeah, we can leave it in.
Okay. Additional resources. Do you guys have any additional resources?
So sorry.
I did not have any additional ones.
Nope, I listed the ones that I had.
Is that one required to answer?
Sometimes I have put it, sometimes I haven't.
Yeah, sometimes I don't put it. I think, I don't even know how we can have additional.
Yeah, that was hard enough.
I don't think we know enough about their culture and about how they live to even begin to answer that question.
So maybe we could put that we suggest somebody who's familiar with their culture to
to help them
weigh
go.
in.
Yeah, I agree. Someone who understands it far better than we do.
Yeah. So additional resources. See a therapist who lives there.
Someone
Don't come to America.
who understands.
Or at least somebody who's studied the culture enough to really
Yep.
know what to do, because it's really hard to kind of come up with solutions when you don't know exactly what their culture is about.
There,
Right.
how's that sentence?
And frankly, they would probably have the best ideas for what additional help they may need. Maybe not emotionally, but at least physically, they would know what things they would most benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys okay with that sentence I wrote?
Yep,
Mhm.
I am. No, looks good.
Yeah.
I noticed in the under recommendations to support, the sentence that starts with depending or extended family live.
Is a
It's
different
It's a
yeah.
different text.
Yeah.
Super important we fix that.
Yes, it is. We're at Arial 12. Let's see.
Yeah, that was mine.
Better, Molly? I'm like that too.
Sorry.
No, I'm the same way.
I think it's the same thing with under additional resources that can be provided. Is a different font as well.
Really?
If we're going to go off on correcting fonts.
You know what? It is just a different size.
There you go.
Okay.
That
well,
should
it's
be
different.
better.
It is different. Nonetheless, it's different.
It is.
So,
Well, it was. It's
Well, if you're
not
getting
now.
a doc for points, it better not be for font and
Continuity. Continuity.
that'd be a
Okay.
little ridiculous.
So I need to basically copy and paste this. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it looks good to me.
yeah.
Has anybody received less than a really good grade on these when we work together? I don't think
I don't think so.
too picky.
Copy.
I mean, not
At
that we're
least we
lax. We
hope
have
it's-
good answers. I'm just saying it. I think it looks good.
I do too. It seems very thorough.
We definitely hashed out a lot. That's true.
We've solved all their problems, I'm sure.
Yes. They can go off living a happy life now.
Fax it to them.
You know, it's weird because I feel like the other ones were easier to help with than this one.
Mhm.
But I
Well,
feel like
when
this
you
one
get-
was
I think once I got into it, they were easier, but I like this one. I like the switch up of having to think outside of the box.
yeah, I do too.
Yes.
I liked it.
Because this one is a different culture in so many aspects of the case. It's
I
not
do know
just a
that
different culture.
When I
It's-
prayed this morning, I expressed how grateful I was that I don't live in a war zone and that my kids aren't in constant danger and they get to go to school 2 miles from my house. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people live like this. I'm so lucky.
I know.
Well, now, Molly, all we need to do is get our kids excited about school like they are.
I know. We'll work on
I
this.
have those kids. My kids are thrilled to go to school.
My kids do
Oh,
like
well,
school.
then they need to come-
Once they're ready, they're like want to go. They really, really like school. They have awesome teachers. It's just like, it's time to get up already.
That's how mine are. They're sick of me waking them up.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, what? You don't have pancakes and bacon ready?
Oh, you guys
My
think
kids
that's
are
bad?
excited about school until they start school, and then they realize they aren't as excited about it as they used to be. So
Wait until they start seminary, okay? Then you can talk to me about that.
Do your kids
Yeah,
go to
early
early
morning
morning
I
seminary?
live in Arizona.
Yes,
I
early
live in
morning
Arizona
seminary.
where seminary. There is no early morning seminary where I live. It's part of high school.
Oh, you're lucky. My daughter
Yeah,
gets up at
Mine
5.
too, but Emma, I thought you said you lived in Idaho Falls.
I do. My daughter goes to a charter school and not the regular high school, so she does
Ah.
early morning seminary. But they do have it at the regular school as a class. But she does it early morning,
Yeah.
and all my other kids did the early morning.
It does
No,
make it really easy. That's just part of their schedule to just go. Yeah, that is a blessing. Okay, we good? Does it look good?
It looks great. I
wonderful.
am curious. I